Yo, what's up everyone? My name's Ice Grenade and welcome to another tutorial. This is how to do any crazy zone styling and have it work perfectly just like it does in the Treyarch maps. So you can open up in any order, back to front, any way, and the zombies will be zoning right and they won't be spawning in zones they shouldn't be, and they won't be walking into walls and stuff like that. Zoning. Okay, I don't want to die. Jesus. So this is it set up properly, and I'm going to just show you an example of this. If we go all the way around like this and go all the way down here, you'll see they're not trying to come through any of these doors. And if we open this up, look, they're coming back now. They're going to take the shortest route, and they're always going to be spawning in the closest zone, and they're not going to be spawning in any zones that they shouldn't be. So let's just show you another example. If we go over here and open these up, you might think, okay, well, they're going to want to spawn in that zone there because it is adjacent to this zone and it's activated. But no, it shouldn't do, because you've got this door here, and because of that door, you don't want them spawning in that zone, because otherwise they won't behave right. They'll take ages to get to you, and you'll see that they're not until we buy this door, and then they'll start spawning in this zone here, even when you're in this zone. So if we go over here, you'll see that they will still spawn in that zone there because it's right next to us. And the way zoning works is zoning has the highest chance of spawning in the zone you're in the zone you're standing in, and then it has a high chance of spawning them in any surrounding activated zones with entrances. So this one here. And this is exactly how it's supposed to work. This is how I believe Treyarch do it, and this is how you should do it, because this is the best way. And this also shows how you have multiple zones activated. So we bought this one door here, and you'll see that now zombies are being activated in this zone here, which is actually made up of two zones, and you'll see in Radiant these two parts of this zone 9 here. You see I haven't set the dynamic path on that script model, so you'll see the problem that a lot of people have when it comes to setting up zones. So yeah, that's an example there. There's a very simple quick thing for this. Is you want to go to all of the entities that you're using as a door. In this case, I'm just using a script brush model. You might be using models. Go into the KVPs and you'll see this KVP called dynamic path. Make sure that's set to true, and then it will behave exactly as you should expect. The yellow ones just haven't had the dynamic path setting set up. So setting up your zones properly like this will mean that you can open up your map in any way you like, and zombies are going to be pathing the right way and they won't be glitching out because of badly set up zones. So anyway, this is the little demo. Let's jump into Radiant and you're going to see exactly how to do it. So here is a example of the map here, and what I have done is I've made a grid network just so that you can open up in any order. I have taken a screenshot of the map in Radiant here, and I'm just going to show you with some arrows what I mean by advanced zoning. So right here on the right, where I've just drawn an X, is the starting area, and you can open up this orange door into the maze. And then you can choose to go whatever way you like. You might want to go like this, and you can go here and open up these zones. And when you're standing in here, they will only spawn from the adjacent zones. And you might be thinking, oh, well, this is technically an adjacent zone because this square and this square are next to each other and they're both active. So maybe the zombies are going to mess up here. No, because if you follow this guide, it will be set up perfectly so that they'll be spawning in the adjacent zones, which is only this one and this one that are active and have open barriers between them. So we're going to do that. And also you can go in any order. You can go like this if you wanted to, and if you're standing here, they will spawn in here and they'll spawn in here. And if you're standing in here, when you've got all of these doors open, they will spawn in here and here and here. And it's basically how you expect them to work. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it so you guys can get it going. Okay, so if we go over here in Radiant, and I'm just going to bring back the triggers. So you can see that we have a trigger here for these doors. These doors are script brush models. If you don't know the basics of zoning, you want to go check out my Zoning 101 video. But here we go. I have marked this zone here. If we show all of these volumes and we hide the sun volume and the umbra and the lit volume, and you want to check here, we got all these separate zones. Have them touching or have them slightly apart but don't have them overlapping, because that will cause a problem. I've named this zone Z1 as for zone 1, and this one's Z2, Z3. You'll see that this one hasn't got a target on it. I've just forgotten to put that on there, that's all. So if we do S1 there, and we're going to do target S2 there. Okay, and if we look inside these zones at the risers, or the dogs are the yellow ones there. I've just colored them yellow. You can leave them red or do whatever you like. I like to set them as a different color so you can easily see what's going to be a zombie spawner and what's going to be a dog spawner. So if we go here, you'll see that this has a target name of S1, and if we look at its volumes target, it's the same value. You can type in whatever you want. I just use a format that makes it easy for me to code and saves me amount of time. So we got Z1 there as in the zone 1, and then we got zone 2, and then we got zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6, zone 7, zone 8, zone 9, zone 10, zone 11, and zone 12. And in zone 9, we've also got a zone 9B, and you'll notice that there is no barrier there. So we're activating 2 zones when we either have this one opened or this one opened. So I'm going to show you what you'll need to write in your GSC, but let's go over here to the doors. So, okay, if we hide this and we go over here, we got the door here. I have given this target name a door 1, door 2 name, D1, D2. So that's what I'm setting it as. That's what I name my doors. I name them what they are. Okay, this is a door between zone 1 and zone 2, so I'm going to call it D1, D2, which makes complete sense to me. So that's how zone 1 to zone 2 is set up. Can you guess what the next one is between zone 2 and zone 3 on the door? So if we go in here and have a look at the door, we have got door 2, door 3. If we look at the trigger, it's targeting the door 2, door 3. What you can do is, if you just set up the trigger and you want the target name as zombie debris, you want script flag as the flag. I have the same format for the flag as well. So for the flag name, I have flag 2, flag 3. So F2, F3, that means, okay, well this trigger happens to be between zone 2 and zone 3. So we're going to have a flag to flag these, and that's why it says F2, F3. So basically your trigger, you should be writing in something here that will be a connection between these 2 zones. So we have a row here, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and then we have zone 5, zone 6, zone 7, zone 8. Okay, so if we go over here to zone 1 and zone 5, can you guess what the KVPs are going to be? If we hide these zones and go have a look at the trigger, we got F1, F5 for the flag, and we got D1, D5 for the target, which is the name of the door. If you're wondering what the target on the door is, OD, it's just a random struct I have somewhere called target name OD, and it's just an abbreviation for overdose, aka death, meaning where the doors go when they die. So they fly up to that struct. I write OD just for saving time when you're zoning, to keep all the names short and simple and ordered. So this is zone 5 and this is zone 9, but of course zone 9 has 2 zones. So how have I done that? What I've done is I have set up this zone as Z9, and it targets the spawners in zone 9, which is S9 there. If we hide this and go have a look at the spawners, they have the S9 target name. I haven't put any spawners in this second zone 9, which I've called Z9B, and because I haven't put any spawners in there, I'm just getting it to target the spawners in zone 9 itself. You could indeed add some spawners in here if you wished and set them as 9B, and then when you're in this zone you can say, okay, well yeah, let's set them to 9B, so when you're in this zone it will have the highest chance of them spawning at that struct there. Okay, so the next thing is, how do we set this up in your map name GSC? So we're going to do that now. If we go over to your map name, and here's the one here, you'll see that we have a few things here. Let's just separate these to simplify, and we'll have a look at the first one here, we got start zone, zone 2, and the zone 2 flag there. If we go over here, back to where the spawn is, we have a start zone, and we've got a zone 2 there. And if we hide these and look at the trigger, we've got a zone 2 flag, because that's how that one's set up. So if we just ignore these ones, because these are part of the other parts of the map here and not necessarily this maze here, which is this zoning tutorial. Okay, so first things first, let's explain what these lines mean to me. Okay, so we got this here, and you'll find one of these in your user map test zone init, and you just copy this and then replace these values as necessary. But if we take a little closer look, actually, here we go. The way I see this is you have 2 values here and you have a flag. Doesn't matter what way you put these values in, it will still work. It doesn't matter to the program. You could write it like that. You could have 2 1, or you could have 1 2, whatever way round you want. It doesn't matter. The first 2 things it means are, okay, take these 2 zones, they are next to each other, so when you're in this zone, make sure that the zombies in that zone go into that zone. And we're basically binding these together with a flag of F1, F2, and basically this is saying that, okay, well, when the trigger, so let's go over to that trigger, F1, F2, which will be this trigger here. So if we look at it not in game view, and you'll see the script flag is F1, F2. And basically when you buy this trigger, and it doesn't matter what side you buy it from because the trigger is big enough to reach either side, it will go and it will go, okay, well, we've triggered this. So you see these 2 zones here? Well, they are now adjacent, yeah? They are now next to each other. Any zombie that spawns in 1 or any zombie that spawns in 2, they will go to the other one, you know. So your zombie spawns in 2 and you're in 1, it'll be going to 1. Say you're in 1, it will go to 2. And the same thing is throughout all the other ones. So let's take another example of the same thing, and we're going to zoom over here. We're going to go to, let's have a little look. Let's pick zone. We got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and we've got the one down here, which is zone 11. So to go from zone 7 to zone 11, and it doesn't matter how you got to zone 7 in the first place, because it will mean the same thing, but just say that you've opened up some of the doors already and we're in zone 7, and you go into zone 11. We'll look at the trigger. It has an F7 F11 flag, and it has a target of D7 D11 for the door. And if we look at the door, it's got the D7 D11 there. So when you buy this trigger, you'll remove the door and you go in there, and we'll just have a look and see what we did to set that up. So let's have a look. We got 7 and 8. No, that is not the correct one. That is the one that goes from this zone to that zone. So that is not the one that I'm talking about here. If we go over here, we got the 7 11. That is the one I'm talking about. That is from this zone to this zone. And you might be wondering, okay, well, we got a zone 7 there and we got a zone 6 there. Where is the zone 7 to zone 6? We got a zone 7 to zone 8. We got a zone 7 to zone 11. But we haven't got a zone 7 to 6. Well, we have. We've got a zone 6 to 7. And like I said earlier, it's the same thing as a zone 7 to 6. So because we've set it up in a left to right order, it really doesn't matter what order you pick as long as you stay with it, that it works exactly the same. So if we go over here and let's explain how we set up this zone 9 and zone 9B to work when you buy either that door or that door. So we'll pick either door here that you'll use to access it. So we'll go in here and we'll have a look and see that this trigger is F9 F10, okay, and that's D9 D10. So if we look at the script flag F9 F10 that I've made, which is over here, F9 F10, and I'll just break it up so you can see it better. That means that, okay, well, when you trigger this, it now knows that zone 9 and zone 10 are next to each other and it's active. So zombies in zone 9 will go to zone 10, and zombies from zone 10 will go to zone 9, And if either zone in here hasn't been activated yet, it will be activated. And we've also got something special here, which is a new thing that I'm going to explain. Okay, so for most cases, when you're going into one new zone that only has one info volume, you're just going to have 3 parameters. The first 2 zones, doesn't matter what order, and the flag that corresponds to the connection between them. But say, like in this instance, we have 2 zones here, zone 9 and zone 9B. Well, what we can do is we can just link the activation by typing in the 2 zones. So there is no action between activating this one and this one. Say that we bought this door and we're in this zone. We don't want an action before we go into this area, because if we did and there's no wall there, then a player, you need a trigger there, you need something stopping them. But just say, for example, you've got an oddly shaped area and you need to make it out of more than one info volume box, then you're going to want to create a secondary one here like the Z9B, and you just simply do that by adding in the 2 parameters here, and you do not need to add in the flag. You might think, oh yeah, well, okay, well, when this needs to activate when we get that door, so we need to type that flag in as well, F9, F10, so that, okay, well, yeah, these are getting triggered, and then it activates this one and this one and this one and this one. No, that's not right. You should only have the flag set on the 2 zones that it's in between. So we've got the 2 zones here. We've got zone 9 and zone 10. And if we go back to this code, we've got zone 9 and we've got zone 10. And then we've got the F9 and F10, F9 and F10. If we look at the zone 9 and the zone 9B, there is no door between them, so there should be no flag, and it's set up using just 2 parameters there. The program knows that it will activate them and it will work accordingly. So this is how I zone. Zoning was never easy, but now I find it incredibly easy because I look at it from a different point of view, and I've explained this way of looking at it to a few people, and it seems to be a much better way of it working. And in every use case, it seems to work perfectly. So yeah, this is pretty much it. So if you have any other questions about your zoning, then please go down into the description where there's a link to our Discord, so you can come into the Discord, throw all your questions in there, and we'll see what we can do to help you. Other than that, thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button and sub if you haven't already, and take it easy, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Right, stab not dab, people. See ya.
Call up my mama, tell her that I'm good. Do what you want, you do more than you should. Stick to your roots and they'll give you a look. Don't get caught in your head, you forget what you could. I get too high, I don't wanna feel low. I do what I do, so you do your own. Only stay up if I know.